Someone disrespected you. Maybe they talked over you in a room full of people. Maybe they dismissed your words like they meant absolutely nothing. Maybe they smiled warmly to your face and quietly stabbed you the moment you turned away. And the worst part? You stayed silent. Not because you were weak, but because you didn't yet know what real, unshakable power looks like. That silence burned inside you, didn't it? That moment stayed with you long after they moved on and completely forgot you existed. Here's what the Stoics understood thousands of years ago, and what most people will never truly discover. Real power doesn't scream. It doesn't argue. It doesn't beg for recognition. And when it exists fully, it humiliates disrespect without uttering a single word. Subscribe to Anonymous Achiever. Stay until the very last attitude, because that one changes the way you see yourself forever. Number 1, the attitude of absolute silence. Most people, when disrespected, feel an immediate urge to react, to defend, to explain, to prove their worth to someone who already decided not to see it. But the Stoics knew something dangerous and beautiful. Your silence is not weakness. It is a weapon most people are not prepared to face. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. When someone disrespects you and you stay calm, composed, utterly unmoved, you take all their power away. They expected a reaction. You gave them nothing. And this is exactly where most people fail. They break the silence too soon. They speak when staying quiet would have won. Have you ever given someone the reaction they were desperately hoping for? Silence isn't surrender. It is the first step toward domination. Number 2, the attitude of iron. Standards. People disrespect those who have no clear standards. Not because those people are weak, but because they have never clearly defined what they will and will not accept. Without that line drawn in the ground, anyone can cross it without consequence. Epictetus taught that a man without internal principles is a ship without an anchor. Every wave moves him. Every storm destroys him. But the man who lives by his values, quietly and consistently, becomes something others cannot easily shake. The moment you set uncompromising standards for how you allow yourself to be treated, something invisible shifts. People feel it before you even say a word. And what happens next surprises almost everyone. The disrespect simply stops. Can you relate to the feeling of finally owning that kind of quiet, immovable authority? Your standards are your armor. Start wearing them right now. Number 3, the attitude of emotional mastery. The person who controls their emotions in a moment of disrespect holds more power than everyone else in that room combined. And the Stoics understood this with frightening precision. When someone humiliates you publicly, when they dismiss you, mock you, or speak down to you, your emotion is the real battlefield. Not them, not their words. Your inner world. Because if they can trigger you, they control you. It is exactly that simple and that dangerous. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Not silence, delay. The deliberate pause between provocation and response. That single pause is where real power lives. Few people truly understand this. Most react immediately. But the rare individual who pauses, who breathes, who consciously chooses, wins every single time. How many times has someone stolen your peace without you even realizing it? Number 4, the attitude of indifference to opinion. Here is a truth that will sting. Before it heals, most people who disrespect you do so because your approval still matters too deeply to you. The very moment their approval stops mattering, everything around you changes. Marcus Aurelius wrote that worrying about the opinions of others is one of life's greatest wastes. But most people spend their entire existence auditioning for an audience that was never paying attention in the first place. The Stoic attitude isn't arrogance. It isn't born from coldness. It is the deep, quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and needs no external mirror to confirm it. But this is where most people quietly fail. They say they don't care, while their behavior proves the opposite every single day. True indifference to opinion is the rarest and most powerful freedom a human being can possess. Have you ever tasted it? Number 5. The attitude of deliberate growth. Every person who ever disrespected you handed you something they never intended to give: fuel. The Stoics called it the obstacle as the way. The very thing designed to break most people is the thing designed to build the rare ones. When Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, mockery, and political disrespect from those who surrounded him, he didn't collapse. He wrote, he reflected. He grew with a discipline that seemed almost inhuman to those watching from the outside. And what happens next surprises almost everyone. The people who disrespected you often watch in stunned silence as you become something they cannot ignore anymore. Your growth is not revenge. It is something far more powerful. It is undeniable proof that they were completely wrong about you. Comment silent strength if you feel this deeply. Very few people choose to grow through pain rather than simply break beneath it. Number 6. The attitude of zero explanation. You do not owe anyone an explanation for who you are. Let that statement settle for a moment. Because the very moment you begin explaining yourself to someone who has already decided to disrespect you, you have already surrendered the battle. Epictetus taught that the wise man does not perform for others. He does not justify his choices to those who cannot understand them. He acts. He moves. He builds quietly in deliberate, powerful silence. The compulsive need to explain yourself is rooted in one dangerous belief: that their opinion of you holds the power to define you. Remove that belief entirely, and the need for explanation disappears. And this changes more than you think. When you stop explaining, people start wondering. They start watching. Curiosity slowly and inevitably replaces contempt. How much energy have you wasted explaining your worth to someone incapable of seeing it? Stop explaining. Start becoming. Number 7. The attitude of disciplined action. The person who acts consistently while others only talk is, over time, simply impossible to disrespect. Because results speak in a language that cannot be argued with, debated, or dismissed. Stoicism was never about passive acceptance of circumstance. It was about ruthless, disciplined, daily action, taken in spite of opposition, criticism, and dismissal. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, not by demanding respect, but by earning it through relentless, visible excellence over decades. But the real danger appears when action becomes inconsistent. When you work with intensity one day and disappear the next. Because disciplined action is not a sprint. It is a quiet, grinding, unstoppable march toward a destination no one can deny. What have you been postponing because of what someone might say? That postponement is costing you far more than any disrespect ever has. Discipline is the most eloquent response to doubt. Begin today. Number 8. The attitude of selective presence. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not every room deserves your presence. And not every conversation in this world deserves your voice. One of the most deeply underestimated Stoic principles is the deliberate withdrawal of your presence. When you remove yourself from environments where you are not valued, you send a message more powerful than any argument you could make. Your absence speaks, and it speaks loudly. Seneca warned that time spent among people who consistently diminish you is a form of slow, invisible self-destruction. You become, over time, the average of the environments you choose to remain in, whether those environments deserve you or not. The person who walks away from disrespect, quietly, without drama, without a single explanation, is feared far more than the one who fights back. Have you ever walked away from something silently destroying your worth? Your presence is a privilege. Not everyone has earned it. Number 9. The attitude of unshakable self-belief. There is one thing that renders disrespect completely powerless against a person: an identity so rooted, so certain, and so deeply anchored that no external force can move it even slightly. Epictetus was born a slave. He had no freedom, no legal rights, no power of any kind. And yet he became one of the most influential philosophical minds in all of human history, because no one could reach what lived inside him. His self-belief existed completely beyond the grasp of those who held his chains. The person who truly knows who they are cannot be truly disrespected. The insult slides off. The dismissal changes nothing. The mockery reaches their ears but never penetrates their soul. Few people truly understand this, because building that kind of identity requires years of quiet, difficult inner work that most people are never willing to do. Who are you when no one is watching? That answer is your real foundation. Number 10. The attitude that changes everything: radical self-respect. This is the attitude most people will resist the hardest, because it demands the most from them before the world gives them anything in return. Radical self-respect means treating yourself the way you wish others would treat you before they do it, before the world confirms your worth, before anyone validates your journey, before the results arrive and the recognition comes. The Stoics believe the only true injustice is the one you commit against yourself. The moment you accept less than you deserve, stay in spaces that diminish you, and remain silent while your soul is screaming for something more. But the real danger appears gradually, so quietly you barely notice, until one day you've forgotten what your full worth even looks like. When you practice radical self-respect, the world reorganizes itself around that energy without being asked. The world mirrors what you believe you deserve. What are you telling it? You have just walked through 10 attitudes that the Stoics forged in fire, refined in hardship, and passed down through centuries for moments exactly like this, for people exactly like you. Silence is your first weapon. Standards are your armor. Emotional mastery is your greatest strength. Indifference to opinion is your freedom. Deliberate growth is your quiet revenge. Zero explanation is your sovereignty. Disciplined action is your loudest voice. Selective presence is your power. Unshakable self-belief is your foundation. And radical self-respect is the door through which everything else becomes possible. Here is what you must understand. Disrespect cannot survive contact with a person who has truly done the inner work. It withers. It retreats. It looks away first. Because real dignity is not demanded, it is radiated. It moves into every room before you do, and it stays long after you've left. You came to this video feeling something. Maybe anger, maybe pain, maybe the quiet, exhausting weight of being underestimated one too many times. But you stayed until the very end. And that tells me something important about who you really are. You are someone rebuilding, silently, powerfully, deliberately. An anonymous achiever exists for exactly that kind of person. If this video reached something deep inside you, subscribe right now. Leave a comment below with the attitude that hit you the hardest. Share this with one person who needs it tonight.